In this video, I'm going to go over how to put a link into your Gmail signature so that you can link a document directly into your signature. Or this would be for something like the information about brokerage services from the Texas Real Estate Commission or some other document that you might need to do. That is the actual one we're going to do today, is the information about brokerage services, the IABS. So let's get started. I did a separate video for how to do it in Microsoft Outlook. If you're using Yahoo Mail, it's probably going to be a very similar process to this. The first thing you're going to need is your information about brokerage services or whatever document it is that you're wanting to link into your email signature. You're going to need a PDF copy of that. And you can see here I have my information about brokerage services. It's got my information, my broker's information, my supervisor's information, and everyone's contact information. Now that you have that filled out, you need to have a place to store it online so that you can link it into your signature. You could simply attach it to every email that you send out, but here's what happens when you attach a file and send it every time you send an email. You are sending out that document, and in my case, my IABS is about 1 megabyte. Every time I send an email, I'm sending 1 megabyte of data attached to that email. That is clogging up my outbox or my sent folder. It is clogging up the inboxes of people that I would send that email to. So I like to keep it a little bit cleaner. Just put a link in there and supply it where someone can click that link and open the document if they want to, rather than filling people's inboxes with loads and loads of files that are really unnecessary. The nice thing that you have with Gmail, since you're a Gmail user, I assume since you're watching this video, is Gmail comes with Google Drive. It is a free storage place for your documents. To get into my Google Drive, I'm going to go to the 9 box in the upper right-hand corner, and I'm going to click on Drive. Here we are in my Google Drive. You can see I already have several folders in there. I want to create a new folder for this, though. I'm going to use something called a public share, and that's because I'm going to share this document publicly. When we put documents out that we link into our email signature, anyone in the world could potentially be opening it. You're going to send those emails to clients. You're going to send them to title companies, to other agents, to lenders. If you're going to link something in your signature, it has to be publicly available. And so that's why we're using a share in Google Drive. And just for the sake of simplicity, I like to keep all of my files that I share publicly in a single folder. So I'm going to go over and I'm going to say, create new folder, and I'm going to name this Public Shares. You'll notice I put an underscore at the front of the name. I do that because the underscore character sorts alphabetically, even though it's not an alphabetical character, it sorts alphabetically before numbers and letters, so it puts it at the top of my folder in Google Drive. I like to do that because it allows me to quickly get back to folders that I use frequently. You'll see in there I also have client documents with an underscore in front of it so that it sorts to the top, so that my client documents are always right at the top because I'm always in there. So I'm going to create it with Public Shares. And now we have our folder. I'll go to the folder, and in my Public Share folder, I am going to click New File Upload. I'm not going to make you watch me upload a file. Just, you know how to upload a file. So I'm going to click the upload file and take care of that right quick. All right, now I have my information about brokerage services, my IABS document uploaded. I need to share it though. So I'm going to click on the share button, and I got that by just hovering over the line. It appeared. This comes up with the share window. Right now it says restricted. Only people with access to this can open the document. And right now I'm the only person who has access to this. So I want to change that to anyone with link. That way anyone who gets the link to this information about brokerage services has the access to open it. Now that I've set it to anyone with the link, it says right here, anyone on the internet with the link can view it. And that's what we want. We want them to be able to view the document. So I'm going to click copy link. That copied it to my clipboard. And I'm going to click done. Now that's shared, and you can also tell that it's shared because of the two little people right there next to it. Now that I have that shared and I have the link copied to my clipboard, I'm going to leave Public Shares and go back to my Gmail account. I'm going to go in and edit my signature. First, let's take a look at what my signature currently looks like. If I hit compose, it pops up. Here it has my name and the fact that I'm a realtor. It has my brokerage and my photo on there, but we're going to add a link above that. So let's just delete that, and we will go into the settings, see all settings. I'm in my settings for Gmail, and my signature is going to be right on the front page. I'm going to scroll down, and here we have signature. And you can see there's my signature right there. It has my name, realtor status, my brokerage, and my photo. I'm going to go to the top of it. I'm going to give myself a couple of spaces so I can link in my information about brokerage services right at the top. And so I'm going to type all of that out. Texas Real Estate Commission information about brokerage services, because that's how I want the label to look. I don't want it to be a long, weird hyperlink. I want it to actually say Texas Real Estate Commission information about brokerage services. You can link other documents too. For example, as a Texas real estate agent, I also want to link in the Texas Real Estate Commission's Consumer Protection Notice. And we'll actually come back and link that in here in just a minute also. But for now, I just want to link in my information about brokerage services document. So now that I have my two labels set up the way I want my links to appear, I'm going to go to the first one because we're going to do the information about brokerage services first. I highlight the entire link, and then I click the link button right here. It asks for the link that I want to connect that text to. And that link is my information about brokerage services link that I got from my Google Drive. And you can see if I come to the front of it, it's got https drive.google.com, and then all kinds of characters there. That's why we don't want to display that in the signature. We want to display something nice and easy for the person receiving the email to read, like Texas Real Estate Commission information about brokerage services. All right, I'm going to click apply. While we're at it, I'm going to go ahead and link in the Texas Real Estate Commission's Consumer Protection Notice. I don't have to upload this to my drive because the Texas Real Estate Commission already has this publicly available on the internet. I just have to go find the link to it because remember, the Consumer Protection Notice for Texas agents is not customized to the agent the way the information about brokerage services is. I'm going to come and I'm going to search. There we go, Texas Real Estate Commission Consumer Protection Notice. Right at the top, it's a link to their PDF on their website, or to the page on their website. This will open it up. I can click download form, and that will actually be a link to the PDF. If you see right there at the bottom, it has the URL that's being displayed. That's what it links to, which is a PDF document. So there I get the Texas Real Estate Commission's Consumer Protection Notice. I'm just going to highlight that link and do Control-C to copy it. I can close these out. I don't need these anymore. Come back to my Gmail signature. I'm going to highlight that text. This time I'm only highlighting the text that I want to link the Consumer Protection Notice to, which is the text Texas Real Estate Commission Consumer Protection Notice. So I've got my text highlighted. I'm going to click the link. Control-V to paste that back in, and now I get my URL, which includes trek.texas.gov all the way out through the rest of the name of the PDF for the Consumer Protection Notice. I'm going to click Apply. And now my signature has those two lines at the top. Then it has Tracy Thomason, Realtor, my brokerage, and my photo. Now I'm going to scroll to the bottom, and I'm going to click Save Changes. For your signature, you're probably going to want to put your phone number in there and some other information like that. For right now, I'm not doing that for the purposes of this demo. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an email by clicking Compose. And now here we have it. Here's my new signature. Includes the two lines, Texas Real Estate Commission information about brokerage services, and the line Texas Real Estate Commission Consumer Protection Notice. Then we get my name, realtor status, my brokerage, and my photo. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to send myself a test email just so that you can see this working from the receiver's end. All right, now I have a quick email written. I'm going to click send, and then we're going to go over and look at it from the receiver's perspective. All right, here we are in my test email box. Here's the email that just came in. Click on it, and here we go, the message that I sent to myself. And right here we have the link. I'm going to go ahead and click this link to the information about brokerage services. And it pulls up. There's my information about brokerage services. Now we come back and we'll click on the link for Consumer Protection Notice. And there it pops right up. There's the Texas Real Estate Commission's Consumer Protection Notice. You don't have to store your documents in Google Drive if you don't want to, if you're a Gmail user. It's just nice and convenient, and it works really well. Super simple. So I like to use that for a lot of documents that I share with people. And that's it. That's all there is to it. I hope this helps.